Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Doctor Who. Last time on Doctor Who, we had the Rings of Akutan. So the Doctor and Clara went on their first adventure to an alien world, and they ended up at the Rings of Akutan. And, they ran into a little girl named Mary. She was the Queen of Years, and she had to sing a song in order to keep the old god at bay from waking up and killing everyone. Unfortunately, the old god woke up and tried to kill everyone, and tried to take everyone's soul, which the Doctor described as stories. So, the Doctor basically overloaded him with his soul, and then Clara finished him off with the leaf that brought together her parents. So, yeah. That's pretty much that. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever, and yeah, we might as well get right into this episode of Doctor Who. Here we go. Whoa! The North Pole, 1983. Okay.
Prepare to launch nuclear weapons. Aye, sir.
Oh, that's not right.
The Firebird stands ready to serve.
Wait a minute.
For the motherland. For the motherland.
The motherland?
Comrade Captain.
It's Davos
NATO
Seaworth.
exercises.
Saber rattling.
I don't think so.
Wait,
You don't think so?
So, American aggression gets more intolerable by the day. We must run the drill again.
is that Uncle Tully?
Tomorrow. Did you have your specimen stuff?
Is this just
okay?
a Game of Thrones sub?
Looking after it. Well, at least.
Life's too short to wait.
Why are the Russians... Why are the Russians British? Oh dear. Man, that was a lot to take in. Was that a Yeti? Was that one of the Yetis? TARDIS is here. That is not Vegas. I mean, we're kind of in a crisis though.
680!
Oh. Well, we landed.
Search them. Yes, I know. It's a woman. Now search them.
Tuh. Yeah, they haven't seen a woman in a while.
What is this?
Sonic screwdriver. Oh no, not again. TARDIS is out of here. Did they send it away?
Number one priority, not suffocating.
It's the thing.
What is that, gas? Could be gas.
Turn around. Wait. That's an ice warrior.
It's an ice warrior.
From the planet
A
Mars.
native of the planet Mars.
Yeah.
And we go way back.
Huh.
That is a monster.
Skaldak.
Okay. Speaks English too.
What did you say?
I am Grand Marshal Skaldak.
Okay. What's wrong? Whoa! Fucking Tully. Fucking Edmure.
At a sudden increase in temperature and the armour goes haywire.
Like with the cattle prod thing?
Like that cattle prod thing. Bit of a design flaw, to be honest. I've always wondered why they never sorted it. Oh, look, you've got me telling you
Tuh.
about them, and I said there wasn't time.
Is he that dangerous?
This one is.
Yeah.
Find me, my brothers. If you are still out there,
Oh no.
find me.
Am I speaking Russian? How come I'm speaking Russian?
Now? We have to do this now.
Tuh. It's the TARDIS.
Are they speaking Russian?
Seriously, now.
Yeah.
It's the TARDIS translation matrix.
was let Skaldak go and he'd have forgotten us. But you attacked him, you declared war. I'm one of us and you harm us all.
Ugh.
It's the ancient Martian code.
It's like New York.
You hear that?
New York at the end of
Skaldak
Spider-Man.
sent out a distress call. You will bring
How does any of their shit
help
work?
just for
It's all
name
wet.
and love on it.
A soldier knows another soldier. He'll smell it on you. Smell it on you a mile off.
Wouldn't smell it on you, Doctor?
Yeah.
Just let me in there before it's too late. It can't be you or any of your men.
Well, it can't be you.
So we'll send in Clara.
Grand Marshal, we're sorry about this.
It's not what you deserve.
It isn't what you deserve.
Why are the lights going out?
Oh, great.
Hey, it's okay, Clara. Keep going.
Tuh. You gotta keep a light,
We're a
apparently.
long way from home. Some things.
Oh! It went by first.
Skaldak got no answer from his Martian brothers.
Huh.
No, he's given up hope. Hope of what? Being rescued.
So it's just
He's been
him.
abandoned. He's got nothing left to lose.
Yeah.
It couldn't be any worse.
Oh, no. God, this episode is so wet.
It's a state we call mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
Mutually assured destruction. But this has not occurred.
No, that's why it's a Cold War.
Not yet.
Ah.
Even if a missile did get launched, that wouldn't be it, would it?
It.
Yeah. The end.
Well, game over. I mean,
You saved it.
No, it was on the floor with this.
Tuh.
Professor, I could kiss you.
If you insist.
Tuh.
Later.
Why does he have a Barbie doll?
You know Hungry Like the Wolf?
what?
Duran Duran, one of my favorites. Come on.
I'm not singing a song.
Come on, sing a song with him.
The first people in the world to discover a genuine living
Alien.
Oh, God.
You hear stories, don't you?
Yeah, aliens already have come and gone.
Kremlin doesn't want us to.
Mainly the Doctor.
Stay here. Don't argue.
I'm not.
Right.
Tuh.
Good.
That's different.
So what's the matter?
Seeing those bodies back there,
Yeah, that's new.
it's all got very real.
Yeah.
You from another time? From our future?
Yeah.
Clara?
She's so scared.
What happens?
I can't.
Well, I need to know.
I'm not allowed.
No, please.
I can't.
Ultravox, do they split up?
That's your concern? Ah!
Let her go!
Oh, finally, someone actually shot the thing.
Martian law decrees that the people of this planet are forfeit.
Oh.
I now have all the information
Oh.
I require. Excellent tactical thinking. My congratulations, Captain.
Thank you.
Tuh.
Unfortunately, your position is not perhaps as strong as you might hope.
I wish it was just the eyes. The mouth is a little weird. Uh-oh. The armor can move. The armor can move on its own. Go for the mouth! It's wide open.
Skaldak, I know a thing or two about sonic technology myself.
Ooh.
A threat.
I will blow this sub up before you can even reach that button, Grand Marshal.
Ooh.
Blow us all to oblivion.
You would sacrifice yourself.
in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Mutually assured destruction.
Ah, crap.
Look into my eyes, Skaldak.
Oh.
You sang the songs.
of the red snows.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Whoa! Oh. Maybe the Martians are here.
We did it.
Oh.
We did it.
Okay, good. Okay, and all the water stopped too.
Save the world then.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah, it's just another Wednesday for us.
The what? The HADS, the Hostile Action Displacement System. If the TARDIS comes under attack, gunfire, time wins the sea,
It leaves.
relocates. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah.
Well, never mind, it's bound. The TARDIS is at the pole.
The pole.
The South Pole.
Oh no.
Ah,
Can we have a lift?
To the South Pole. Okay. Go in peace. Alright. That was a good episode. Okay. Okie dokie then. What a good episode. And the reintroduction of the Ice Warriors, too. Because we haven't had them yet in New Doctor Who. And all I've seen of them is in The Curse of Peladon. So. Oh, man, oh, man. That was good. That was fun. I'm going to do something while I do this real quick. Don't mind me, I'm just finishing something up real quick. Oh, I don't need cards. Yeah, that was definitely an interesting episode. I did enjoy that. I did appreciate the introductions of. Great, now I gotta stand up and hit the enter button. One sec. There we go. I did like having Davos there. Davos, and I'm pretty sure that was Edmure Tully. So that was cool seeing them. Alrighty. It's cool having them in there too. But yeah, that was definitely an interesting episode. I did like that. And a very wet episode. That had to have been a nightmare to film with, constant water dropping and everyone has to continually be wet. Like that had to suck to film. But I don't know. And also, I do like the an interesting thing they've now established for the TARDIS. Well, kind of established for the TARDIS. Just a new way that they got rid of it for the episode. So yeah. Alright, sorry, hold on. If you're wondering why I keep pausing, it's because it's about to turn noon, and I am publishing today's episode of Steven Universe Future. So, okay, there we go. David Warner. Okay. He was the professor in the episode. Trying to recognize him. I don't think I do. I kind of recognize him, but I'm not sure. Yeah. That was Edmure Tully. Alright, cool. Very, very cool. Yeah. Okay. Now we can actually go over the notes. Sorry, that kind of took me a minute to do. But let's go ahead and go over the notes. The first... Oh, now I got to burp. Damn it. Oh, excuse me. Okay, the first thing I wrote down was the nukes. That was an interesting thing we added in here. The whole premise of this, being on a Soviet submarine in the middle of the Arctic Ocean. That was pretty cool, and having it be at the height of the Cold War was interesting, and I like too. It's like, oh, this is the Cold War, and we're dealing with the Ice Warriors. It's like, oh, it all fits, and we're in the North Pole. It's all thematic, it all works perfectly. So yeah, that was interesting. I like the setting. I was kind of worried. It's like, how many different locations can we have just in a submarine? But it did work out. It did work out, actually. They were able to go to like different parts of the submarine. So I did like that. And yeah, we had the reintroduction of the Ice Warriors with Skaldak. Okay, I kind of spelled the name wrong here at first. Okay. Skaldak. Who I'm wondering if Skaldak was actually in a previous Doctor Who Classic episode. I'm yawning too. Goodness. Oi. But yeah, the reintroduction of the Ice Warriors, well, just one Ice Warrior. That was cool. And I did like at the end the fact that he did get saved. There are Martians out there. Now, you do have to wonder, like, how much... I don't know, I kind of want to know, like, the current Martian lore now. Like, because the last thing we saw of Mars in any capacity was the waters of Mars. And in that one, there were no Ice Warriors. It was just the water that was kind of taking over. So I'm wondering if the Martians just like abandoned the planet, basically, which is why, and now granted, this is in the 1980s, and I believe, what was that, like 2069 was when the Waters of Mars took place. So, that's about 80 years. That's about 80 years, so, I mean, I guess something could happen. But, yeah, that does leave me a little curious, like, okay, well, why is it that, okay, we have the Martians, but at the same time, there were no Martians in the Waters of Mars? That's something I would be curious about. But, yeah, I did like the reintroduction of the Ice Warriors. This guy was buff, let me just say that. Like, this is not, it's obviously a higher quality... a more modern, updated suit compared to the ones I saw in The Curse of Peladon. But it worked. It definitely worked. And, yeah, like, all the armor was interesting. We didn't get a good look at it technically outside of its armor. The most we saw was when it took off its helmet. And other than that, we saw, like, it sort of in the shadows. So... yeah, that was interesting. And actually, that is the next thing I wrote down. Out of armor. And I like the idea that Skaldak was desperate during this. Because he wasn't getting any response from his people. He was like, well, shit, all right. Well, I got nothing to lose then, So it is... and I like that. It's like the Doctor has never seen an Ice Warrior... The Doctor has never seen an Ice Warrior outside of their armor. So that was interesting. And yeah, just the whole thing of, well, it's, it's this high dishonor to get out of your armor, basically. So that was all interesting. The distress signal, that not working out, that was also interesting, even though, at the end, it did work. It's like, for some reason they just, like, they heard him and they came to him, but they didn't respond to him. That's the only thing where it's like, okay, well, that's kind of weird. I wrote down the professor. The professor was an interesting character and also a bit of a pointless character now that I look back on it. Like, I'm trying to figure out what was the point to this character, other than, that was the explanation of, well, this is where we got the Ice Warrior. They found him in the ice, and, he had been there for 5,000 years. So, I am definitely... I don't know, it's just an interesting character. Like, he didn't have too much of a purpose other than he was, the explanation for why they have an Ice Warrior, because they were doing the drilling and stuff. And, honestly, it was someone that Clara could talk to. So, yeah. Like, when all is said and done, it's like, he didn't actually serve too much of a purpose, actually, which was interesting. I mean, even, like, because if you could kind of compare this, I guess, to the Web of Fear, the second Doctor episode that I watched. And at first, actually, I was like, are they reintroducing the Yetis? But no. And I was like, oh, well, the Great Intelligence, maybe. It's like, no, it's not that. Instead, it is the Ice Warriors, which is better. But, like, when you go back to that one, I feel like Professor Travers had more things to do, Whereas this Professor Grisenko, I don't know if that's how you say that or not, But yeah, he just didn't seem to serve too much of a purpose, honestly. So, yeah, I don't know. But I did like his interactions with Clara. I thought that was funny, and him being sort of obsessed with Western music. That was funny. And it's like, oh, if you're a time traveler, tell me, does this band split up? And it's like, that's your concern, man. So yeah, that was funny. I did like him. He just didn't seem to serve too much of a purpose to the plot. But again, he was all right. I did like him. So yeah. Let's see. I did like a lot of the stuff that Clara was doing in this. Going into the thing to talk to Skaldak. She did well, all things considered. Even though it didn't go well, but she did well, which was good. I did like that moment where she was like, it pretty much all became real to her when she saw the bodies and stuff. Which is tough, she hasn't seen something like that yet in these adventures. So, yeah, it is a little, off-putting. So I like that they kind of paid special attention to that. And I also like, when she's asking about the TARDIS and stuff like that, and she's like, am I speaking Russian? Are they speaking Russian? And it's like, this is not the time to do this, Clara. Which, yeah, some of you guys are getting on to me in the comments about saying Clara. Well, there's nothing I can do. Maybe at some point I'll start calling her Clara, but for now it's Clara. So you're going to have to deal with that. Let's see what else. There was something else. Oh, right. When the doctor was like, stay here, and she was like, okay. And he was like, no, don't stay here. Don't follow me. And she was like, okay. I'm staying right here. And it's like, oh, that's different. He hasn't had a companion do that in a while. But at that point, I feel like normally Clara would have gone, but that was right after seeing the bodies. So it makes sense that she didn't actually do that. I don't think that would be a normal thing for her, like, in any normal adventure. But this, at that particular moment, it's like, no, she does need to stay there for a bit. So yeah, I wrote down Sonic Boom. The Doctor threatening to destroy the entire submarine with the sonic screwdriver. That was interesting, and I did like that, which of us will blink first? That was interesting, and, because the Doctor didn't want to do that. Even at the end, when Skaldak left, he was like, I will do this if I have to, I will do this if I have to, and then, Skaldak let them go, basically. So that was interesting. And then we did get the return of the Martians. More Martians that came and saved him. Interesting that it just sort of, took them a while to get there, I guess. And they couldn't actually respond to him, but whatever. So yeah, that was interesting. And I do like that there is an honor. Skaldak has a sense of honor to where it's like, it is horrible for him to kill billions of innocent people. So, once he is saved and, okay, he does have something to live for and stuff like that. Like, it makes sense that he's like, okay, I'll let this go. Because he even said, like, the doctor even said, like, if we had just let Skaldak go in the first place, he would have just left and forgotten about us. So, it's interesting. It's an interesting little insight into Skaldak's character. The last thing I wrote down was the South Pole. So the Doctor was trying something out with the TARDIS to basically, whenever it would get into trouble, it would relocate itself, which makes sense. He wants to, keep the TARDIS out of the hands of evildoers, and he said as much during the Bells of St. John. So yeah, it does make sense. It just didn't quite work out the way he thought it would. But that was a good way of getting rid of the TARDIS for the episode, because they always have to do that. They always have to get rid of the TARDIS for the episode, and it can be hard. I imagine it can be really hard to figure out, what are we going to do about the TARDIS this episode. So adding that in there and being like, well, that was the idea. I was trying to do that, but it didn't work. So yeah, and then just the fact that it was at the South Pole was funny, and now they have to, give him a lift all the way to the other end of the planet. So that was funny. I did like that. But yeah, that was pretty much it for this episode. I did enjoy it. It was really nice. And yeah, I'm curious about the next episode. So with all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Doctor Who reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.